Welcome to Loco Gringo, Mexico, the place where we transform a tourist into a traveler, because you deserve to see more of the world than just what's in a guidebook. Each week, we talk with amazing locals who know the Riviera Maya and Yucatan like only a local can, and get them to share their tips and insights on the local scene, culture, and cuisine from a local's perspective. So, pour yourself a margarita, grab a comfy chair, and let's get the show going.
Hi everybody, this is Kay Walton and welcome to Loco Gringo, Mexico. Well, today we're going to be talking to an island girl, and this island girl, there's passport stamps from Thailand, Cambodia, England, which if people don't know is an island, the Belize Keys. Well, she and her husband have found their way to Tulum in the Riviera Maya, and she has been able to carve out a little bit of time in between dives to talk to us. Hi, everybody. This is Kay, and I'm so happy you're here with us today. We're going to be talking to Lia Evans. Now, Lia's down in Tulum, and she has a great story to tell. Now, don't be fooled by the British accent, as I was. She's actually French. She spends a lot of time speaking English and all that. She's got an English boyfriend, or English husband, I believe. And so you'll detect a bit of the Queen's English in the way she talks. Anyways, and I also apologize, I still have a little bit of cold from last week, and so I sound a little froggy. So anyways, Leah, hey, how are you? How's everything in Tulum?
I'm really, really good. It's been really good, really hot at the moment, but really good.
Hey, that's excellent. I'm so glad, we've tried for weeks now, it seems, to get together, and you've been really busy diving, and so glad you can make time to talk with us today. I wanted to ask you, Leah, I said, why don't you tell everyone kind of how you wound up in Tulum? I think it's a great story.
Thank you. So I arrived in Tulum in February, in the Riviera Maya in February 2015. My husband and myself were at the time, before arriving in Tulum or in the Riviera Maya, we were living in Belize, where we worked for 6-8 months. We managed a resort on a remote island between Belize City and the Blue Hole. That was a diving resort.
What was the name of it?
Blackbird Cay Resort.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, well, for different reasons, we stopped working with this company. The resort is amazing and everything is amazing, but for different reasons, we stopped working for them, and then decided to travel a bit in Belize. And then we were waiting for my parents-in-law to come. So my parents-in-law plans holidays to come and see us really in advance. So when we stopped working, my parents-in-law were coming 2 months later. So we had 2 or 3 months to spend. So we started in Belize, spent 2 to 3 weeks there, but it was a bit expensive. So we decided to go to Playa del Carmen and spend 2 weeks there, but didn't really like it, or we didn't really fit in Playa del Carmen. So we found a little lodge that's called Dos Oros Lodge. It's in the Dos Oros, close to the Dos Oros cenote, and we did some cave diving. And so every night we were going to the restaurant in Tulum, and I really like the atmosphere, just this main street. I really like it. I felt like home, like a bit of France. I don't know why. So because we had 2 months to spend, I was like, okay, let's go and, let's rent a place here for a few months and see what happened. So we rented a place. We find a really, really cheap room to rent in the center of Tulum. And then we found a job, or a jump find us, like I used to say. So we didn't plan to come here. Tulum, I didn't even know it existed, and we never thought of living in Mexico and staying in Mexico. But Tulum loved us. So Tulum just made everything possible for us to stay here. And this is, how we end up in Tulum in March 2015, and we never left since, never.
So let me ask you, Leah, when you moved to Tulum, did you have a job already, or did you start your own company? How did you wind up? I know diving. Was that just something you decided you wanted to do since you were already out diving in the Belize Keys, is to try your hand diving here?
So when we arrived, we looked a bit for job in Playa del Carmen, but we had all the time the same reply, like you're already diving instructor, you have the experience and everything, but you didn't have any working visa. So that was like, no, you can't work. So then when we started to live here, we just wanted to live here and not work because we knew that would be really, really hard to have a working visa, to find a company that give us the working visa. And but when we arrived in Tulum, we met this company and these people that had a company, and they proposed to employ us and made our visa. And then so I worked for them for a year. Now we stopped working together, and now I'm working. So I'm freelancing in Tulum, so for different dive shop, and I take some private tour as well. So when my family is coming, or when I've got customer and I met them before. When I work as a diving instructor now for 5 years, so I taught diving to maybe 200 or 300 people. So now all these people know where I live and what I'm doing, so they're contacting me and come, and I take them diving year round. The big plan is to have my own company, but in Tulum, there is already a lot of dive shops, so I think maybe something else may be a better idea. But working in diving is just, I'm lucky to be able to do it, and I'm lucky to be able to do it here, because diving here in Tulum is just beautiful. Like, it's just, I don't know if you snorkel the cenotes or if you dove a bit, but it's just really beautiful to dive in underground river and to see this. You don't go there to see life. You go there to see light and to see rock formation that took millions of years to grow. And it's just beautiful. And then you see all these people, you take them, and then 99% of the time they want to go sea diving, and they want to see turtle and sharks and then they arrive in Tulum and they're like, oh, I can go diving in the cenote, and I can go cavern diving, and then they do it. And they go out, and all the time you have the same reaction, that was amazing. If you go to the pit, for example, that's a cenote here, when we do a deep dive, 99% of the time I've got people coming back to the surface, taking off their mask and just looking at me and telling me, wow, wherever they're from, whatever experience they have in diving, they do this dive, and it's just beautiful. And it's, for me, I dive one of the best dive site in the world, and I take people there that I can share this experience, and I can see how happy they are, and how it gives them something really amazing, because I also explain them all the system of the cenotes, how they get formed and everything. So yeah, I think it's just a full experience. And when you're here in this region, it's kind of a must if you're a diver, because it's just, it's a unique diving. And when we arrived here and we'd start diving here, I was kind of, I wish we can work here, and I wish I can take people there. But then that wasn't possible. I just moved my finger on my head, like if I was making a video. So that wasn't possible. But then, we find this company and we have a visa, and then, now we just renew it and just work as freelancer, and want to, stabilize and create something more. But then it takes time. So,
Yeah, no, it takes time to establish yourself and put down roots, and I think Tulum is an absolutely fabulous community to do that in. Let me ask you, I came to the Riviera Maya in 1992, and I moved in, and Gary and I both did exploration work and dove in the cenotes. I have a question for you, and you would be able to answer this. Is there good reef diving or ocean diving off the coast, off the shore of Tulum, if you take a boat out? Because I've never dove in the ocean down there. Are there good dives to do down there as well?
You can dive the shore. No, it's difficult, because it really depends on who you taking diving. Like if you do an open water course, it's the first time in the sea, there is a lot of coral, there is a lot of fish. So there is turtle, there is barracuda, there is pirate fish. You can see, I saw a seahorse once. I was really lucky. But there is lots of life. So there is reef diving, but the problem is in front of it there is Cozumel. And south of here, there is Belize, and clearly the reef there are 100 times better. So, it's beautiful reef. There is still a beautiful reef and reef diving to do here. No, how can I say that? It's not the best reef in the world. It's kind of, if you have a choice between, I want to say, have the choice to buy a baguette in Paris or buy a baguette here, the baguette here is going to be good, but it's not the French baguette.
No, that's a good analogy.
So yeah, the diving, the reef is good, but it's not the best one. So mainly we do go cenotes. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah.
That's excellent. I mean, it's interesting to hear because I used to teach diving off the coast of Akumal for years, and so I never got a chance to dive in Tulum. And so it's good to hear that there is some diving there. And of course, yeah, it varies. It depends. If you dive out in the Seychelles or out in Truck Lagoon, then this would pale in comparison. And for anybody who's listening, the Seychelles and Truck Lagoon are some of the most amazing dive sites in the world. But as Leah was saying, we have some, the turtles are prolific here. There's a lot of parrotfish and things, and there's bull sharks certain times of the year. So it's still a great place to come and dive. And of course, cenote diving is something you cannot have really anywhere else in the world.
No, it's not. It's just, this is the only place in the world where you can do it without being certified as a cavern diver. So the thing is, there is other cavern in the world but if you want to dive them, you have to be already at a certain level in the diving industry. Like you can't just be open water or advanced or first star or second star. You have to have the special certification. The thing is here, the cavern are so big. They're so big that they're safe. Like it's pretty safe. That's the biggest difference. Like when you do Dos Oros, all the time you see this amazing light coming in. So this is why here, this is the only place in the world where you can do it. That's easy. And yeah, and it's even cave diver that are coming here and all around the world. In my countryside in France, there is cave dive. So I've got cave diver that are coming here and they dive in France and they dive here, and when they dive here, they say it's 10 times more beautiful. It's so big. Like I looked at a video yesterday about the creation of the cenotes and the impact of the meteorite and this, and they make it so big. Yeah, it's so big. So this is why it's so amazing, and this is why it's so special of here, because this is the only place in the world where the cavern are that's big and that's open.
No, I totally agree. Now, living in Tulum, have you always been in Tulum? Have you seen, now that you've been here, have you seen any other parts of Mexico, or have you just stayed here in the Riviera Maya?
I just stayed here in the Riviera Maya. It's difficult because, we rent a house, we've got dogs and the work, and we want to travel. All the time we arrived here and we're like, okay, so I want to do this and this and this, and we don't really move. Oh no, we went to the Yucatan. We went to the Lago Rio Lagartos.
Yes.
With the pink lake. That was beautiful. Yeah, that was driving from Tulum to Valladolid to Rio Lagartos. That's really, really nice. But then after that, traveling in Mexico, no, just the Riviera Maya.
Well, it's a beautiful place if you're going to be in one place. You can't pick. It's hard to find anything that would be better.
Yeah, it's just, I love nature and I love animal. And the thing I find here in Tulum, I've got my 2 dogs, and tonight, like in an hour, I'm going to go take my dogs and walk an hour in the jungle. And I see monkeys, and I see birds, and I see snake, and I see spider. Like 3 weeks ago, I spent 30 minutes. So I walk, when you're here in Tulum, you can just take your car. If you're renting a car, if you have a car, you can just take your car and just park in front of, there is big road that go into the jungle, proper big road where truck can go in. So the proper big road, and you can just walk, and you will be in 2 minutes. You're in the Sienka Reserve. So there is birds all around. This year I saw hummingbird for a month. I saw hummingbirds every day. I saw, like 3 weeks ago, I saw the, how you call that, when the birds are flying from north to south. Migration. So I saw Sazen and Sazen. I can't even say the numbers of, my husband told me the word yesterday because my accent was bad. Parrots, yep. Parrot, well, flying. So it's just you're in the middle of the jungle and you hear all these birds just flying south and you can see them. It's just, taking your car, driving 5 minutes out and then walking in the jungle around here. It's just amazing. And yeah, I'm not going to find this anywhere else, I think, than here.
I don't think so. And Belize, I will say, Belize has a lovely jungle, and there's some, you could see some of that in Belize, but that's a jungle on a whole different level.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dense. This one is really how you get nice. Like, yeah, it's really easy. I will say easy. Then Belize, it's really denser. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I ask this, Leah, of everyone who I talk with, and it's really exciting because you're relatively new to the area. Yes. I wanted to find what some of your favorite spots are. Can be anything, whether it's a place to go eat. Maybe I know you love Dos Ojos, but maybe if there's another dive spot that you really recommend. But if you would share a few of your secret places with us.
Yeah. So one of the first one will be on the beach. It's called La Eufemia. It's a really small cafe restaurant on the beach where they do really, really, really good tacos. And you can just go there, lay on the beach, go for a swim, and come back, drink your beer, have some tacos, and then go back for a swim. I really like the atmosphere. It's really hippie, really nice and cozy. It really feels like my countryside, the hippie part with the music and everything. And it's really affordable. It's really cheap. So there is some place here that can be quite expensive. So this one on the beach is really, really nice. And the price are really, really nice as well. There is a restaurant where we go in the center. So when we arrived in Tulum and we decided to stay here, we were like, we need to find a restaurant somewhere where we go. And people know us, and we've got this really good service, and we've got this really good atmosphere. And we're really picky with the service of the waiter, with my husband. The food have to be good, but then if the waiter is not good, the food, I don't know, it's difficult for us. And we find a restaurant that's called La Siesta, that is in the center of Tulum. Well, I'm sure you find on Facebook and everywhere. It's an Italian restaurant. There is a lot of Italian restaurants in Tulum. But this one is just really, really great. The service is really good. The food is really good. Just if you order the peppercorn steak, ask with the peppercorn sauce on the side. Because sometimes it's really peppercorn and sometimes it's not. So it's
That's
better.
a good tip.
Yeah, and the food is really good and the service is really nice, and they also do delivery. So yeah, they're really, really nice. And then another one, we love breakfast. My husband told me to love English breakfast with the eggs and the bacon and the bread and all of this. And we took a long time for us to find a place to have a proper breakfast. And we found one that is called Azafran. And it's open from maybe 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning until 3. And I think it's closed on Tuesday. I'm not sure, but it's written on the internet. And they have the best breakfast ever. We just go there, we sit, the waitress sees us, and she's like, okay, 2 hangover breakfast. Yes, 2 hangover breakfast. There is everything, the bacon, the mashed potatoes. It's just gorgeous. And we're really foodie, so we do try a lot of restaurants in Tulum. but all the time is the same. We just always go back to La Siesta. I start to be tired. At one point, I was tired of it. So we tried other restaurants, but no, there is just this one. And then, like I said earlier, really secret, it's just go take a picnic and go and walk in jungle. They're really nice things to see. And it's really peaceful.
Oh, those are all great tips.
That will be it. Then there is lots and lots and lots and lots of restaurants here, and it's difficult because all the people that I talk to, all my customers, they're like, oh, where do you go, where do you go, where do you go? And the thing is, after the first 9 months we lived in Tulum, we didn't have a kitchen. So we were going to the restaurant, and now we're going to some restaurant like, okay, I want lasagna, I'm going to go to this restaurant. I want a burger, I'm going to go to this restaurant. I want pasta, I'm going to go there. So it's really for the specific plate. So generally, I'm going to ask people, what do you want to eat tonight? Carbonara, steak, Mexican, tacos? Because, each restaurant does one thing really good, if I can say. Yeah.
No, there's a great variety of places now in Tulum. And so, there's, some trial and error. But so what mood are you in? What mood are you in for tonight? If it's, what type of food, and you can usually find it easily in Tulum.
Yeah.
So, Leah, let me ask you, how can people get in touch with you if they want to go diving with you, find out more information about what your services are? What's the best way for people to reach you?
So I've got an email address that is where people can join me. Should I say it? Yeah.
Well, you know what you can do is I'll put it on. We're going to have the show notes, and everybody can click over it. So if everybody would just go to locogringo.com/podcasts, we'll have all of Leah's contact information, so you can reach out to her, whether it's to talk to her about some of her favorite restaurants, which we will have information on our show notes about, or find out some details about going diving with her. We can make sure all that information's available to you. Also, just so you know that if you can't find Leah's contact information, or you have trouble getting a hold of her, you can always contact me, askkay@locogringo.com, and I can hook you up with Leah personally. So, we'll make sure, Leah, that we can get, anybody interested to meeting you down there, going diving, or getting more information can contact you.
Yes, for sure. Thank you very much.
Well, I want to say, Leah, thanks so much for everything. And I hope being a foodie and everything, maybe you'd consider coming back to the show sometime.
Yeah, for sure. No problem. There is a new restaurant that opened that I have to try. So I can come back and tell you more about this restaurant if you want.
Okay, excellent. Well, a big muchas gracias to all of you, and a thanks once again to Leah for joining us today. It was great to hear about her journey to the Tulum Riviera Maya area. If you want to come down to the Riviera Maya or the Yucatan Peninsula, please, I invite you to visit our website, locogringo.com. We have a great team of people here, and we can help you find not only wonderful places to stay, but turn you on to all sorts of activities, restaurants, and all the local spots that you want to visit, so you can really immerse yourself with the people and the culture, and of course the environment here in the Riviera Maya. Until next week, hasta la vista.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe. For links, show notes, and more information, head on over to locogringo.com or give us a call toll-free at 800-478-0081.
Porque se tragó la luna, estaba enferma la rana. Su madre soba que soba, dedos de pluma la panza. Pensó ranita que luna era una toronja blanca. Y aunque la luna es de leche, la leche estaba cortada. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma. Croa, croa, dedos de agua. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma.